So, this 12-stair ollie in winter alone, one of the hardest ollies I've ever done. In winter, a 12-stair to me feels like a 15-stair, really. It is totally different. And then there was the biggest problem I had is when you have to film yourself also with two cameras, and it's important to get the right shots. Makes the difference. If you see my art in the end, the full parts, all of these shots, this is effort, this is, know-how, figuring out, and losing time and losing energy. And in the winter, there was all of this snow and wet spots everywhere, wet, really wet snow. So if you step into it, your shoe is completely wet, your sole is wet. And that was a big challenge that day, that the once you go to the camera, to either of them, your shoes get wet. And even if it, like, getting the shoe really dry is totally difficult. It's like it seems that the shoe is getting dry when you then rub it on the floor a little bit, but that's it's not so done so easy. You have to do it again and rub again, and also by that you destroy the shoe. It gets rubbed off, because you have to aggressively make sure that the shoe is really dry, and for that you have to aggressively rub on the concrete, and again and again and again. And that for every single time you go to the camera, and you can't just film forever. It also stops filming at after 10 minutes and also overheats, and often the footage then breaks. The clips, they get destroyed by either too much heat in the camera, that even in the winter at a certain point of non-stop filming, it really overheats fast. Yeah. And also the batteries die, because the batteries at the same time, in the phone, for example, dies fast, is weak. And also the batteries, even though the camera gets hot in the GoPro, R2 GoPro, even though it gets hot, there's still the batteries are weaker in the winter, and die faster. And you don't even see it when it happens. So you're also under pressure, not knowing, is it even still filming? Imagine, like, I'm battling now in winter for the commitment, and then there are the people, and there are so many of them, and you want to get the right shot with nobody in the background, at least at the stair set. Like this woman right now, I have to wait until she's gone, because the shot will be destroyed. I cannot do an ollie with this woman in the background, and I'm not trying to say that she did something wrong. Yeah, I'm just, of course, in the moment, I'm stressed. That's natural. But this woman didn't do anything wrong. It's just like I have to wait, or the shot is not really usable. I maybe can edit, often I have to edit the people out. And so in all my full parts, there's so much that is edited out. Just cleaning the spot, so that you can really see how the spot really looks, and how also the skateboarder just in the air by himself, and nothing that really distracts, and also overlays. When I'm jumping and people are behind me, then it just kind of creates footage that is mixed and weird, and it's no longer the trick clean. And so that's why a skateboarder needs the spot, if it's a stair set or whatever it is, needs to be free of anything really, not even cars. In the best case, this is just the spot and nothing else. No people, no cars, no nothing. And so to get this, either I have to wait, and sometimes if it's not other possible, then I get a bad shot and have to try to fix it in the edit. And to not have to edit extra so much, I of course choose to wait, because the person could simply continue to leave or walk. That's why I don't have the patience to wait for a woman standing right at the stair for like 5 minutes for no reason. So I rather instantly go over. Would you mind to do this a few meters forward? Like, there's no problem in that, right? I mean, she has to, like, however, so these moments still, they get you out of the. This is something that when you're in a skate team, that they are doing naturally. It just happens because they need the shot. And a real filmer, they all know that. And so the filmer would already naturally say, "Would you mind? Excuse me, would you mind please standing over there?" And so these things that keep also the skater fully focused. I don't have this. I lose already the distraction, and then the worst case is, as I've already documented in the Superman series and in all sorts of other documentaries, when there are these kind of people that really start to harass you and start to fight with you or so for no reason. In the Superman series, there's this 2 times documented, or even 3 times. You're like some kind of animal for them. They see something that they find interesting, like a jumping whatever animal, and they, to themselves, because they have a camera, and everybody these days runs around with camera, they think they have the right to film and photo you and have just, this is crazy. It's crazy because this is you, and especially when it comes to doing something interesting and stunts. Yeah, this is very rare that somebody like me does this without sponsors alone. In so many other cases, there's people involved, industries involved, and so all this footage is first of all needs to be secret, and then it has, some people have rights for it. And if it's only the guy who does it, who is the skater, who's the stuntman, the artist, has the rights. But then there are these people that come in because they think it's interesting, and then you ask them, please do not take a photo. Please, would you mind to move, because it distracts me, especially in winter, especially when I'm under pressure. And in this documentary here today about this 12-stair Ollie, I basically only talked you through, and I just wanted to try to explain how infinitely difficult it is.